AJ, we've got 5 minutes on the clock. As always, today, let's talk a little bit about the importance of having good and accurate data in your CRM and specifically how that benefits the SDR and what they're trying to accomplish.
A great topic, because I think a lot of people really overlook this when it comes to building out some of these foundational steps for an SDR function. It's one of these like easy early steps that gets skipped. People kind of push just a ton of data into their CRM. They expect the SDR to act as both an outbound prospector and some type of like data scrubber, which is a whole separate job, and do both of them at the same time. Feasibly, that's not 100% possible for a lot of reps. They have to spend a bulk of their time actually doing SDR work, not CRM cleanup work. We wrote about this a while ago, but there's a mantra or saying, I don't know what you would call it, but the idea being that the top of the funnel, when you put high quality leads at the top of the funnel, theoretically high quality leads come out at the bottom of the funnel. Similarly, if you put in garbage, unqualified, maybe not the right person type leads at the top, it's pretty difficult to imagine that high quality leads are going to come out of the bottom, right?
Sure.
So it's up to you, a leader at the organization, and make sure that the quality of the leads getting put in at the top match what you want them to look like coming out at the bottom, because it makes the SDR's job a lot easier, and you make sure that they're focusing a bulk of their time on doing the job that you hired them for, which is to prospect and book appointments.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's a big part of it. And sort of one of the unspoken effects of it is that it helps the SDR go about their job in a more sincere way, right? If an SDR is dealing with bad data after bad data, and they, oh, this is probably going to be another wrong number. Oh, this email is probably going to bounce. The mindset that you have after, days or weeks or months of that is detrimental to the job. You start having a negative, you don't work as hard. We've talked about these things sort of in the past, but, so it really goes back to having that data that's available for your SDR. But that doesn't mean the SDR shouldn't do some things about it, right? I know we do a lot of account mapping, right? Our SDRs reach out, find the people themselves. Are there any tactics or strategies that you employed or you would recommend an SDR use to make sure that when they're putting data into a CRM, it's something that they find as useful as possible later on when they have to actually use that data?
Yeah, there's I'll give you two. The first is a popular methodology that Ryan Wiesert put together, his bucketing methodology. I think it's a really simple framework for helping you understand stage-wise within a funnel, like where do my leads sit? Very basically, stage 0 being I have no idea, stage 1 being I know that they exist, they have like correct contact info, but I haven't reached out to them yet, so on and so forth, up until they get to the final stage of qualified lead. So for you, knowing exactly what sort of bucket somebody is in lets you know what you know about them. Do I have the right contact information? Have I never reached out to this person? Have we had a conversation? Basic tiering in that capacity can help you understand where people sit. And then additionally, what I did as an SDR, and this is, take this with a grain of salt. I was working at an organization where I had a bit more leeway than a lot of SDRs do today, but working on an account level versus simply a lead level helped me a lot in terms of, let's say I had a list come in from marketing. There's 15 accounts on there, and maybe each account has 3 or 4 different people in it. Great. I can go ahead and just call down that list, or I can go ahead and just work account by account, take a look at the 3 people given in the first account, map them, understand the hierarchy, and then pull in relevant contacts and work that account fully before moving on to the next one. That way I understand for that first account, who should I be talking to, who should I dump, whose contact information is bad, update all of that and just go account by account. Higher quality, lower volume, but it really helped me understand how many activities I could put in a day, who I was targeting. It helped my reporting, it helped my forecasting, all that. So
yeah, and on top of that, dealing with bad data specifically, it allows you to say, hey, this isn't worth updating the data on the target account, maybe, or the title that, it's not quite right. You're like, all right, forget this one. We'll move on to something that's higher quality that then you can map out and do that way.
Exactly. It all goes back to time management, really, like just understanding that time is the most valuable resource you have. And if you can make the most of it, you're probably going to be more successful than if you just rip dials through a list.
You heard it here. Third, fourth, fifth.
First, second,
It's
eighth.
not the first time I've heard it, but it's important nonetheless. All right, AJ, 15 seconds. Tell everybody about opt-in.
Opt-in, quick 5-ish minute videos, actionable sales development tips, minimal fluff. You can find us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on our Instagram, and on the website, demanddrive.com.
I've got my 5-minute timer set up. Oh, I need when timer ends to not make a sound though.
I'm going to have mine make the radar sound, but it won't matter because it's not going to pick up via my microphone.
You
All right.
sound like
That's what you sound like, makes a motion.
jazz hands. This is what I hear from you constantly, all the time.
That's great.
That's all I ever get.
Fantastic.
No spirit fingers. You're not raising the roof. It's jazz hands all the time.
Skibidi boop bop. Ba-da boop bop.